Injuries have been a storyline for the Chicago Bears all up and down this season. And now we just suffered another injury that's going to keep one of our defensive ends in Yannick Ngakoue out for the remainder of the season. We're going to talk about that all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host here, Haize, and we just got a quick update episode for you guys, man. Nothing too crazy here. Matt Eberflus has just announced that defensive end Yannick Ngakoue has broken ankle and he will be missing the remainder of the season. We know the Chicago Bears had 4 games remaining on this season, and now he's going to be missing for the remainder of those 4 games. Now, Yannick Ngakoue has been all up and down as far as this season. We know the Bears signed him at the beginning of the season to an over $10 million deal, kind of right before the preseason started and things like that, to be able to bring him in here, bring a skill set that the Bears needed at that time. Now, with the addition of Montez Sweat, Yannick and the defensive line in general have been playing better. Yannick Ngakoue's snaps have been going down over that time. We've already seen Matt Eberflus use DeMarcus Walker in interesting ways since Montez Sweat came in there. But now it's going to be looked at Rasheem Green, DeMarcus Walker, Dominique Robinson, if he can get back in the rotation, to really kind of man that other defensive end position with Montez Sweat being out. This is huge news for the Chicago Bears. And while, like I said, Yannick Ngakoue has not played the best for the Chicago Bears over the course of the season, and his future with the Bears was already in doubt, it is very likely now that the 28-year-old has played maybe his last game in a Chicago Bears uniform. We'll see if that ends up truly being the case, if he does end up, playing back with the Bears, if they do maybe to look to sign him for a lesser contract, if they get a young defensive end in the draft and they need some depth, things like that. But Yannick Ngakoue is going to be missing the rest of the season, and this is a ding for the Chicago Bears. Nobody, I think, is going to make the case that Yannick Ngakoue has been perfect for the Chicago Bears at all. But for a defense that is finally starting to get some of that continuity together and playing much better over that course in time, it does suck that we're now going to be without a guy like that. But it gives opportunities for other players to step up. Matt Eberflus has been very creative, like I said, in using some of the other players. And we'll see what that brings. As far as on the season so far, he's played 13 games for the Chicago Bears, 22 total tackles in that time, 13 of those being solo, 4 sacks he's had on the season so far. So again, it hasn't been the season that Yannick has had the prior 2 years. He had 9.5 and 10 sacks in the 2 years before joining the Chicago Bears, and it just hasn't been that level of impact. And the Bears, I think, are going to be able to replace that talent. But at the end of the day, you wanted to see this Bears team, as they were getting healthier, to be able to stay healthy, to really continue to evaluate what this team was going to be towards the end of the season. But that opportunity now is taken away. And so Matt Eberflus, the defense, they're going to have to look to overcome. And, Yannick Ngakoue does put pressure, especially in the passing game, on opposing defenses, with Montez Sweat being on the other side of that. And they don't really have somebody who's going to replace that. But, hey, by having better performance overall, right, in both the run and the pass game from some of these other players, like a DeMarcus Walker, who, since Montez Sweat has come here and Matt Eberflus has kind of used him more up and down that whole offensive line, DeMarcus Walker has played extremely well. He was playing solidly before then. So we'll get to see what he looks now stepping up to that. He has 11 tackles so far in the season, 9 of that being assisted. He has 11 solo tackles, 20 total tackles on the season, and 1.5 sacks. Is that maybe now going to go up for DeMarcus Walker, as he may be the one that's primed to take over that outside edge position? But we'll see what the Bears end up doing. Listen, at the end of the day, it's this. Injuries happen. It's unfortunate that Yannick Ngakoue broke his ankle towards the back end of the season, where the Bears are trying now to make a push, possibly even to try to contend for a wild card position, as we're still in wild card contention. But questions and things have to be done. And so we'll see what the Bears do, how they overcome this. But Yannick Ngakoue will be missing the remainder of the season for the Chicago Bears. And we'll see what the Bears can do outside of that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following the show at Chi Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, and we will be back later tonight for a live stream with me, C-Dub, and Bobby, so make sure you guys are tuned in for that. But like I like to end everything on, bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.